Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. We're here to solve this Antiknight Sudoku by Serbian author Čedomir Milanović from the latest Sudoku Grand Prix. And this is a puzzle that gave me a hard time because first I broke it and then I came back to it and was just stumped. So, uh, that was time completely lost down the drain. But I hope I will do a better job in this video. So the special rule that I may recall is that whenever two cells are separated by a knight's move, like as in chess, well, those digits must be different. And that's all there is to it. So where do we begin? Let's focus on digits that have several occurrences. So 3 does not appear in those cells, and using the knight's move, it's not here. So I will use Snyder notation, which means that in this area, 3 can only be in those two cells. Now 8 is very restrained because knight's move forbids those two cells, so this is an 8. And then we have a digit. 8 here, 8 there, well, 3 cells remain. That's not so useful, but I'm seeing those 8s, which restrict 8 to those cells, and now 8 can't be here anymore because this cell sees both this one by just the usual column rule and this one by the knight's move, so that's not an 8. And finally, 8 is restricted to those two cells in this area. Now let's move on to this area. 8 is not here, it's not here, it's not here. And the knight's move also restricts this cell, so 8 is there. And then we get an 8 down into this cell. And this will have to be disambiguated later. What next? 6. So 6 is here, but it's not here. It's not here by the knight's move, so that is a 6. And then is this area, this 6 just removes this option, and 6 is here. So in this area, 6 by knight's move, 6 only has 2 places. Up there, something similar is happening. Those cells are forbidden. And the knight's move forbids this one, so 3 cells remain. And the interesting part is that this cell seals this one by the rules of Sudoku, and this one by the knight's move, so this cannot contain a 6. So we're left with 2 options, this one or this one. For the 6s, I mean, in this region, we're still left with 4 cells. That's not useful. What about 3s in here? Well, 3 options. That's not so interesting. 3 options here. With those 3s, there's only 2 options remain. And something rather interesting is happening with this column. Well, you can see that 3 can't be here. It can't be here by a knight's move. It can't be here, so 3 will have to be in one of 2 places. And this is interesting because now this cell is impossible for 3 because this cell is both cells here. So those cells are forbidden for 3, so 3 has to be in one of them, and this cell is now forbidden for 3 because this cell is both cells here, so this can't be a 3, and I had deduced earlier that 3 had to be in one of those 2 cells, so finally 3 is here. I remember that this is what I had found on my first attempt and that I just had forgotten and could not find in my second attempt, which is not very interesting, I think. So now with those threes, we get a 3 in one of 2 places. And now those threes just prevent those from containing a 3 because each one of those cells see those 2 cells. 3 is not here, so 3 has to be somewhere here. And finally, this is not a 3, this is a 3. And for this area, so those are impossible, but lots of options remain for 3. What is the next place or digit of interest? Perhaps digit 2 is restricted here in this area. Have 3 options here, 3 options there. That doesn't seem to be very powerful. In this region, 2 can't be in any of those cells. So we are left with only 2 places. And this can't be a 2 anymore, because this cell is this one and this one. So 2 has to be here. Finally, we can remove this option and put a 2 in this cell. I'm looking for, so now 2 is somewhere in here. I'm looking for stuff to deduce, something to find. I'm noticing that we need 1, 4, 5, 7 in this region, but there's 5 and a 7 here, so this is from 1, 4. I will pencil mark some of the candidates. I'm also seeing that 4 in this column can't be here and it can't be here, so 4 has to be here or there, but I'm not sure this will be useful at the moment. I'm also seeing that 1 can't be in any of those places, so 1 has to be here or there, and that's interesting. So in this column, 1 must be here or there, and both cells here see this cell, so this can't be a 1, it has to be a 4. And now, with those 4s, we're left with 2 places here, but one of them sees this 4, so that's a 4 and that's a 3. Now this 3 combined with this one, that's not a 3, so we get a 3 in one of 2 places. So those are the places for 3s, and well, 2 options are still possible, except that there's a 3 here. So we can remove this option. That's a 3, that's not a 3, that's a 3, and it impacts the 6. I'm not sure this is correct to say it impacts. Well, probably. It affects the 3s, more likely. Now 6s in this region can only be in here. And then 1 is not here. 1 will be somewhere here. This is from 5 and 7. So I will pencil mark that. 1 still has 3 places here. 1 has a lot of places here. So those cells are forbidden for 5. So 5 must be in one of 2 places here. This row needs 1, 2, and 9. So this is from 1 and 9. This still has 3 values. I'm not pencil marking try values for the moment. Perhaps I should. Is there anything more I can do with 2's here? 2 can't be here, can't be here, so 2 is around here. Perhaps it's interesting to pencil mark all of that. Three, 2. Yes, that's interesting because 2 is in one of those 3 cells, as I've mentioned earlier, because of this 2. And all 3 cells here see this cell. Those 2 just by the column and this by the knight's move. So this can't be a 2 anymore. So now 2 is somewhere here, so that's not a 2. And this is a 2. And this here is not a 2. Now 9 is restricted to 2 places here and there. 4 can't be anywhere here. So 3 places, that doesn't sound so interesting. 7 can't be here and it can't be here by the knight's move, so 7 is here. And we need a 7 somewhere in those cells. I'm seeing that 7 can't be here by the knight's move, so 7 has to be here or here, which doesn't have a lot of implications, I'm afraid. This variant always requires a healthy dose of scanning. I'm seeing 4 can't be here, because of that it can't be here, so 4 is in one of those 2 cells, and now in one of those 2. Which doesn't seem to be that helpful. I'm afraid it's really not that helpful. I'm looking for interesting stuff to do with those digits. And this is not coming. Perhaps I should pencil mark candidates. So I was saying this can only be 1 or 4. 1, 4, 7, 9. This can't be a 4. This can't be a 7. I'm saying that 5 can't be here, it can't be here, so only 2 places. Oh, 5 can't be here by the knight's move, so 5 will be in one of those 2 cells. So this is finally a 5-7 pair, and 4 goes there. And those are a 1 and a 9. Now this 4, what are the implications? We need a 4 somewhere in here. And those are from 1, 5, and 9. And those 3 cells must be from 1, 4, and 9. I stopped using candidate pencil marks, I think. There's a 1 in here, so that's not a 1. 1 is in one of two places. That doesn't seem to help. So let's use candidate pencil mark at this point, I think. I'm starting, I'm trying not to, but this is probably a bad strategy. All right, so this row needs 5, 7, 8, 9. So this is from 5, 7, 9. This is from 5, 7, 8, I think. Oh, no, I've been missing. This 8 can't be here, so it has to be here. It pushes the 2 into this cell, the 6 into this cell, and this should have massive implications, or perhaps just small implications, but that's something anyway. So now, this car still needs 5, 7, and 9. This is from 1, 5, 7. Those are also from 1, 5, 7, 9. But this here is the 1. And this is the 7. Those are from... Oh, and this 8 doesn't appear in this cell, so that's an 8. And this column needs a 6, so that is a 6. This is also from 5, 7, 9. This still has lots of options, but it can't be a 9 because we have a 9 somewhere here. Both cells here see this cell, so this can't be a 9. And actually on this row, 9 is here now. So it was somewhat useful to pencil mark candidates. So 9 can't be here, it can't be here. Well, those are, well, 9 is somewhere here just by the rules of Sudoku. But 9 is not here anymore. So this is 9, this is 4, this is not 4, and this is 4, not 4 here. So 4 can't be here by Sudoku, it can't be here by the knight's move, so that is a 4, it places the 5 here. 5 is not here by the knight's move. And this is, because of this 9, this is from 1 and 7. An interesting part is that this digit is different from both of those digits, which means that one of them has to be a 9. So there's no 9 in here. What am I doing? There's no 9 in here, and there's no 9 there, so that this is a 9. This is 1, this is 9. Oh, by the way, there's a 5, 7 pair here, so this is 1. This column still needs 5 and 7, but there's a 5 here, so that's the 7, that's the 5. This is a 5, this is 7, and it gives us lots of digits now. I just hope that I'm not breaking everything in the process. So this is 1, this is 7, this is 5. So what about this? There's a 1 here, so that this is 9, this is 7, this is 1. Because of this 9, this is 1, this is 9. To complete the row, we need a 9. This has to be a 5. Here we need 2 and 1. Oh, but this is a 4 because of this one. That's a 4, that's a 7. Here I need 2 and 1 as well, but there's a 2 here, so that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, and that's a 2. All right, so it was quite the struggle, but that's my history with Antiknight in general and with high pointer Antiknight. I will always be less efficient than the same amount of points with, say, Windoku, for example, or Kira Sudoku. I will be much faster in Kira Sudoku than in Antiknight Sudoku. This is my way of struggling with the geometry and the scanning. So thanks for watching this video. See you soon on SudoKanard.